Hawaii became a U.S. state in 1959 after just one referendum. Puerto Rico? 6 referendums, 6 Democratic votes, and yet nothing changed. So why did Hawaii become a state almost overnight while Puerto Rico is still stuck as a territory more than 125 years later? The answer is deeper than most people realize. It's about law, politics, and race. When the United States took Puerto Rico in 1898, the Supreme Court created a legal loophole called the Insular Cases. These were racist rulings that declared the U.S. Constitution does not follow the flag. That meant Congress could own Puerto Rico but not treat it as part of the United States. And that one word, unincorporated, sealed Puerto Rico's fate. Because in American law, only incorporated territories can become states. That's why Hawaii, which was incorporated in 1900, was always on a path to statehood, while Puerto Rico, deliberately kept unincorporated, was never meant to be. Now, let's look at the demographic factor. By 1959, Hawaii's population looked nothing like its native past. Native Hawaiians, the original people of the islands, had become a small minority, making up less than 20% of the total population. The majority were white mainland settlers and Asian laborers brought over by U.S. sugar companies. The political and economic power was firmly in the hands of the white business elite, known as the Big Five. So when the referendum came, the question wasn't, should Hawaii be free? It was, should we finally make official what already exists, a white-dominated U.S. outpost in the Pacific? A staggering 94% voted yes. But that vote didn't represent the will of Native Hawaiians. It represented the voice of a population that had already been transformed by U.S. colonization and migration policies. Now, contrast that with Puerto Rico's reality. Our people have voted 6 times in 1967, 1993, 1998, 2012, 2017, and 2020, and still nothing changes. Even when a clear majority voted for statehood, Congress just ignored it. Why? Because Puerto Rico is not incorporated, and because, let's be honest, we don't fit the American image. Puerto Rico is Spanish-speaking, culturally Caribbean, and racially mixed with indigenous, African, and European roots. In the eyes of Washington, that makes us different. And throughout its history, that difference has always meant delay and exclusion. Today, that same colonial mindset continues under a new name, Act 60. It's a law that invites wealthy, mostly white Americans to move to Puerto Rico with massive tax breaks, while locals are pushed out, losing their homes, their land, and their dignity. It's a modern version of whitening the island economically, demographically, and politically, just like what happened in Hawaii before 1959. They're not just changing the economy, they're changing the very face of Puerto Rico, perhaps so that one day, when the island finally looks more American in their eyes, Congress might finally say, okay, now it's ready. Here's the bottom line. When the population was white enough, they called it a state. When it was brown and black enough, they called it a territory. That's not democracy. That's colonization in disguise. And that's why Puerto Rico, after 6 referendums, still waits, because the system was never designed for our inclusion, only for our obedience. So the next time someone says Puerto Rico should be grateful to the United States, ask them this. If Hawaii needed only 1 vote, and Puerto Rico has needed 6 and counting, what does that really tell you about equality in America? For those who say that the United States is the best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico, remember this day. Thank you for watching. Puerto Rico, open your eyes. If this story matters to you, please share it and subscribe for more. See you soon.